I received an early Steam key for Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile. And this is going to be just a preview, just the first little mystery that you get to do. I did receive this for free from Keymailer. I signed up for it. They offered it to me and I took it. No stipulations about what I should say or how I should say things, just that I had to wait to a certain date before I put out my preview review. But yeah, stick around to the end and I'll let you know how to use Keymailer and what it is and how you can get free games for your channel so you can have video game content too. But Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile, they took a fun little twist. Agatha Christie made all these books about like these murder mysteries, things like that. But this one, they took that story and then took it to the 1970s. So it has like a disco kind of funk to it. And it's like British disco, so it's even funnier to me. But it's a pretty fun game. This first little mystery mission, I'll kind of walk through it a little bit. This guy proposes to this woman he loves, opens up, here's the ring, I want to marry you. Ring's missing. How can the ring be missing? I had it in the safe the whole time. Only one person knew the code. And then you have to go around interviewing people, looking for clues, using reasoning and deduction. And it's pretty cool. I guess this is the kind of game I would have hated as a kid. Just not my thing. But now that I'm older, I kind of like this kind of mystery solving, use your brain. There's like no action. You're not fighting things or beating up people or shooting anything. You're just thinking about things logically and putting pieces together and figuring out like, because in this mission, you're like, why is this ring missing? Like, who took it? You find out this guy was trying to marry this girl, but she's kind of, I want to say she's flighty, but she's very much her own woman. Like, I don't even think she wants to get married. So like, but did she hide the ring? Did someone else steal it? Then you hear voices like people talking, people who needed money, like, maybe it was someone who stole it because they needed money because this woman wants to pay for a trip to go to Egypt. Her boyfriend's out of work. Like, that's a pretty good motive. But when you start to look at all the clues, you find that in the safe, there was like 50,000 pounds in there. Why would they just steal the ring and not steal the money? So obviously it wasn't the guy who needed money. So the motivation wasn't money. So all those kinds of things get on this little idea board, and slowly but surely you work your way through all the puzzles, and then you can come to a conclusion. I did like how you didn't have to tie up every loose end. You just had to get close enough to the truth to deduce what really happened, which is pretty cool, because there was a couple of things I couldn't get on the idea board. There's a clock and you can like move the Roman numerals around but I couldn't figure it out. Like, for the life of me, I'm like, do I make what the hands are pointing at? Am I trying to make it, the correct, 12, 1, 2, like the correct positioning? I couldn't figure it out. So that was one of the puzzles in this first thing. I just couldn't get my hand around it. But everything else was pretty easy to figure out for me personally. Like, what's the code to the safe? And they keep mentioning that the club opened up in 1957. I'm like, no way this guy made his safe lock the year that the bar opened. And obviously that's what it is. But that's when you kind of start working your way down. You meet another lady who's like a big fan of you, and she's a detective and her friend. And I thought this was an interesting little, like, they just say it offhand, like, it was such a beautiful emerald. But then you think to yourself, wait a second, the ring was missing. No one saw it. How did she know it was an emerald? So then you get to use all your I'm like the smartest boy. I love it. I love figuring things out. And that's just so cool that these cool little mysteries, the presentation's good. The graphics are good enough. It isn't, groundbreakingly beautiful graphics, but it's fun. They got since you're in a club, the lights and everything and the music's playing. The controls are fine. I did get kind of caught I was playing on mouse and keyboard. I did kind of get caught on a wall once and I couldn't get away from the wall. But then I reloaded and everything was fine. So things like that, little bugs like that do end up happening. But yeah, pretty fun. Everything's voice acted. Everyone was voiced very well. And it wasn't impossible to figure out, like the actual gameplay, figuring out the clues. Like, you can guess everything and there was like no penalty for that. Except for the penalty in your own brain, not figuring it out yourself. Because as you start picking up clues, you can start putting the pieces together on the web board, the crime board. Like, the crime wasn't motivated by money. And that's something you can attach to the one guy that was looking to get money to go on his Egypt trip. So obviously he can't be a suspect anymore because if it was only about money, why wouldn't he take the money? So you can kind of just write him off. So things like that, pretty cool to build things together. You finish up the first mission, then you get a trailer for the game, which is kind of fun after you beat this first little thing. So you get to the Nile. Then there's the murder on the Nile. Then you have to figure it out. Super cool. Can't wait for the full game to come out. I love this kind of stuff. I can play for a few hours after work. It's low stakes. It's no multiplayer. I'm not fighting against sweaty tryhards. It's just something that's going to make me feel better about myself because I figured something out with my brain. So yeah, definitely check this out. If the demo's out there, if you like puzzle solving, if you like, playing detective, this is totally the game for you. So definitely check out, Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Keymailer. Keymailer is a website that you can sign up for free. And you put in all your credentials. Do you make content for YouTube, TikTok, Twitch? You do whatever that you link your channels to it. Then you start going through and picking games. And this was one of the games that I picked. And then the turnaround was like 2 days. Then they offered me the game for, in exchange for a review. Here's a copy of the game. I've never ran into any type of shady stuff where it's like, oh, we'll give you a copy of the game if you make sure to give it an 8 out of 10 or better. Nothing like that happens. I've never ran into that. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And if it ever did, I would totally tell you guys about it. So Keymailer is 100% legit. You don't have to have a super huge channel to get content. You just watched a video on a guy that, doesn't have a giant channel, but there is this website out there that can help you find content for you. So you're not having to buy games and then you're getting 100 views on your videos. You're never going to get the turnaround to pay for that game. But with this, you get access to a giant library of games. You just have to ask, put in your your credentials, and sit back and you'll get offers here and there. You may not be the big AAA games, but you will get games. I guarantee it. As long as you're diligent about your channel and you post and you hit them up on Twitter and stuff like that, you scratch their back, they scratch your back, you get to make content, they give you stuff to make content with, everybody wins. So definitely check out Keymailer. Crimson's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on the video really helps out a lot. It gets the video spread around more people get to see the videos, and we get to make more videos for you guys. So thank you, and we appreciate every single one of you guys.